Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Jason. I'm the president and CEO behind Bars Blueprint, which is an organization designed and intended to help families and their incarcerated loved ones navigate the incarceration process from beginning to end and even beyond. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'd ask that you subscribe, hit the follow, all that kind of stuff. And if you're returning back, welcome back to the channel. You know what we do here. And today we're going to talk about something that, again, a lot of people don't really think about, especially before they go to prison. And it's the 5 things that determine whether someone survives in prison or self-destructs. Let's get started. You see, most people think prison is about being tough and survival and all that kind of stuff. And in a lot of ways it is, and in a lot of ways it's not. A lot of times what it comes down to is a handful of small decisions that are made or not made prior to being incarcerated. I've seen people go in and come out much stronger, and I've seen people go in and completely and totally annihilate their futures. Today I want to talk about 5 things that can make all the difference before you go into incarceration. The first thing that you have to be aware of and plan on before you even go is who you associate with. There are a lot of opportunities to associate with a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds, most of which, because let's be honest, you're going to jail or prison, aren't the best you could possibly choose from. But you don't get that choice. But you do get to choose who you spend time with and who you associate with. I always try to tell people, it's that old saying, bad company corrupts good character. Bad associations create bad outcomes. Always make sure who you're associating with. Take your time. Don't rush in to make friends. Don't rush into making acquaintances. Don't rush into gang activity, things like that. Always take your time and observe and be very selective throughout, not just in the beginning, throughout your entire time, who you associate with and who you need to keep your distance from. The second thing that you need to plan for before you go is how are you going to use your time, because you're going to have a lot of it. It's going to be weird, especially if you've never been locked up before, how much time you actually have on your hands. Now you're going to have probably a job or some type of vocation or something. You don't just get to sit around most of the time, but there is still a tremendous amount of time on your hands, and you have to decide how you're going to use that. I see guys sleep it away, literally jail, state penitentiary, it doesn't matter, that people will sleep as much as they possibly can. Terrible use of your time. And I've seen people use it to get discipline, to learn, to grow, to prepare, and I can tell you that difference adds up quickly. The third thing you need to figure out before you go in is how are you going to handle conflict, because it is prison or jail and it is going to happen. Your hope and your goal is most of the time it doesn't happen to you, but you better have a plan for that. You want to make sure you keep your distance. One of the things I can tell you is get emotionally charged up, get emotionally involved, invested in a situation, and you are bound to have conflict. The majority of the people that I saw getting themselves into bad situations at some point got emotionally invested. Don't do that. You want to basically stay stoic. You want to stay solid. You're a statue, right? You don't want to get your emotions wrapped up in anything at all. It's the people who stay calm and think their way through a situation are the people that don't have a situation to begin with. The fourth thing you have to decide is, am I going to be someone who takes responsibility? And that means, am I going to blame others? Prime example, I can't tell you how many innocent people I met in prison. Now, granted, I know that there are people who get falsely convicted, okay? People who are innocent, who are incarcerated. I completely understand that. I doubt it's as many people as I've met that have told me that they're innocent. Seems a bit unrealistic, if I'm going to be honest. And that's what I'm talking about. You're simply speaking to someone who's not taking responsibility. There's a lot of reasons why people do that. You don't need to be one of them. That does not show growth and maturity. If you want to become better, if you want to become stronger, if you want to come out of this situation as a person who has clearly matured, not only to yourself, but to your friends, your family, your loved ones, the court, parole or probation, then you need to take responsibility. Now, that doesn't mean you have to confess all your sins at the door and tell everybody what you did. Nobody wants to hear that, okay? But you do need to take responsibility, and a lot of times that means in private conversations with your family, with your loved ones, with your attorney, take that responsibility and start on that path of growth and maturity so you stop being the person that got you here in the first place. The fifth thing that you need to do is decide whether you're going to go in with a plan. I can't tell you how many people go into prison, go into jail, and have no plan. My plan was simple. I'm going to learn, I'm going to observe, I'm going to watch, and I'm going to figure out how to do this as best as I can to make sure that I do whatever I need to do within the confines of the rules to get home as soon as possible. I wanted to pay my debt to society. I understand all that. But I also didn't want to spend any more time there than I had to. And if you get inside and start acting like a foolish person, you're going to lose time. And that's not what we're trying to accomplish here. This is the beginning. This was the origins of Behind Bars Blueprint. I started saying, hey, this is something to where I can start putting things together and see, hey, where there's gaps, where are guys making mistakes, and how can we do that? And before too long, as you want to call it successful while being incarcerated, I was able to actually start teaching the original classes of Behind Bars Blueprint while incarcerated. I was able to get a nice job at the chapel, and the chaplain allowed that to happen, and we saw a lot of progress. We saw a lot of guys that were in and out of the hole all the time, in and out of disciplinary action all the time. Suddenly that went away, and now these guys are learning how to budget, how to interview for jobs, how to balance a checkbook, all that good stuff. And that's where Behind Bars Blueprint started, and it started with a plan. And that's what I want to introduce here is if you don't have a plan going into prison, you don't have a plan of coming out either. So if you or someone you care about is facing incarceration, I would highly encourage you to understand and apply these 5 principles. Structure matters, preparation matters, and decisions made early on oftentimes can determine outcomes. I would encourage you to check out our website at www.behindbarsblueprint.com. There's a bunch of resources there you can check out. You can also leave a comment in this video below if you have any questions. I hope this is something that you can find that will help either you or someone that you care about. If it is, share it with them. This is something we're trying to reach more and more people with, guys. So until next time, keep the faith, stay strong.